Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pam Esquire, also known as your law intellect. You guys are the intellects. And again, it's another day, another lawsuit. So actually, I got this lawsuit yesterday. However, because I went on 3 times, yes, 3 times, uno, dos, tres, I did not want to go on again. So I saved it for today. So you guys get a treat because you guys know I don't come on this much. But for you guys, I'm going to keep you guys in the know when it comes to this legal information. So if you guys would be so kind and gracious as to hit that like button on your way in, subscribe if you have not done so already. We also have a lot of new subscribers. So I want to welcome you here. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope you guys enjoy the other intellects. We are a legal community over here. Make sure that you communicate in the chat. Give us your opinion. Just make sure that you're respectful because oftentimes we don't agree, which is what makes this platform as good as it is, in my opinion, because everyone respects everyone else's opinion. Sometimes we sway each other's opinion. And today will be no different. We call ourselves the social media jurors. So we go around these social media streets and we see lawsuits from the neighborhood to Hollywood and we analyze them, we critique them. We don't give any legal advice, but we do go through them and we give our opinions. Sometimes it gets a little heated. Sometimes your girl names pops up all over other people's platforms because they don't like what I say, how I say it, which way I say it. They want to know who she thinks she is. And that's what happened recently. But we're used to it. We're used to it over here that, Pam said is going to come up, even though I literally use documents and it's what those people said that wrote those documents. But nevertheless, we do what we do over here. So what we're going to talk about today is, if you guys have not perused the platform, we have videos of which we talk about Cesar Pina, who was the ex-business partner or business partner of DJ Envy of The Breakfast Club, which is a radio morning show. And there were Cesar, just briefly, was recently, he wasn't indicted, but there was a criminal complaint where he was it was alleged that there was some type of wire fraud or fraud. There were a lot of investors into his real estate programs and housing who have made allegations against him. Well, how this information came to light, for the most part, where it got a lot of traffic, was there is a person by the name of Tony the Closer, who goes by Tony the Closer, who is also into real estate as well, who started bringing to light some allegations against Cesar Pina of what other people were alleging. So there were several lawsuits. We went over a few of them. If you want to go back on the platform, and I'll probably connect some of those on the end so you don't have to go too far of this video. And they were alleging that somehow they got duped out of their money. That's pretty much what they were alleging. Again, when it comes to any allegations, these are just allegations. From the criminal aspect, he is innocent until proven guilty. It hasn't been much movement that we know about in that case. And then the civil cases, they're at the beginning stages of a lot of those civil cases. I know a few of the cases that we went over, there were some default judgments that were entered, and he tried to get those set aside, and a couple of those were set aside. So those are still in its infancy as well. So therefore, as of now, he has not been named liable, he being Cesar Pina. We also went over a lawsuit where DJ Envy sued Tony the Closer for defamation. And that was filed back in August. I don't believe it has been served. If it has, it was recently. I didn't check today. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, but it hadn't been served when I went over it on this platform. That is another video you might want to check out if if you're just looking for some content. But yesterday, while R. Kelly was out there filing lawsuits against the United States of America and Tasha K, Cesar Pina has filed a defamation lawsuit against Tony the Closer and a lot of his business entities as well. He is alleging that, and you'll see it because we're going to read it line by line. He is making a lot of allegations, specifically stating that Tony the Closer has defamed him on social media by making these allegations that they're not true, and that it has affected his business where people don't want to do business with him anymore. They said that because of social media, they're not feeling them. They're not trying to do investments. They pull back investments. And he also filed this lawsuit with his wife, Jennifer, who is a real estate agent, I believe. And she's saying they allege that her license has been come under attack, where she's at risk of losing it because of some of the allegations that have come out. So that is a brief breakdown. And without further ado, we're going to get into the lawsuit. So as you guys come in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you guys are enjoying it, hit the bell so you can get notifications every time your girl comes on. And yeah, so this is Cesar Pina and Jennifer Pina, and it's against Anthony Robinson, who's Tony the Closer, Tony the Closer LLC, I Close Deals LLC, Rona Proof LLC, Real Estate Rico LLC. He really got an LLC called Real Estate Rico, because the whole Real Estate Rico thing is a hashtag where he kind of named, I guess, this alleged scheming that he is alleging was going on. And then he got Nicole Linnell LLC. I know that that's his girl. This is a company. So I don't know if he just owns a company that he has or if this is her company. I don't even know what she got to do with any of this, but I guess we all are going to find out. Maybe this is just a business that he has in her name. Does anybody know that listens to his live? Because when I saw her name, I'm like, what she got to do with it? Sister's out here selling her clothes and motivating the females and all of that every day. Getting on live, showing you how to get your makeup right. But I see it's a company. It doesn't look like it's her personally. So maybe he just has a company that's he named after his girl. I don't know. But okay, Jacque said it's not defamation if it's true. Well, we're gonna go through it and we're gonna see what these allegations are. What's up, Queen? Appreciate you. Good to see you. Really be good to see you, Shelby. All you guys, Linda, good to see you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for not getting tired of me, because I don't come on this much. I try to make you guys let you guys miss me a little bit, but the news just been newsing. YouTube has been YouTubing. Information, the lawsuits have been lawsuiting. So here we are. So I already talked about who the plaintiffs are. It is Cesar and his wife, Jennifer Pina, and it's against Tony the Closer and all of these different LLCs that we just named. So let's get into the preliminary statement. In this action, defendants knowingly and intentionally, individually and collectively, have uttered false, slanderous, and defamatory statements about the plaintiffs, which have and continue to severely damage plaintiffs. Defendants have engaged in this wrongful conduct for the purpose of defaming plaintiffs, interfering with plaintiffs' prospective economic advantage, and interfering with the contracts entered by plaintiffs. As a result of the torturous conduct engaged in by defendants, collectively and individually, plaintiffs have suffered loss of reputation, compensatory and punitive damages, in an amount to be determined at trial. Furthermore, as a result of the conduct engaged in by defendants, the defendants individually and collectively have been generating sales of their own products, increasing traffic on various social media sites operated by defendant Anthony Robinson and his associates. And for the personal gain of Anthony Robinson and his associates and limited liability companies under his control, and limited liability companies under the control of his partner, Nicole Linnell, operating as Nicole Linnell LLC, defendants have also benefited from their false and defamatory statements against plaintiffs in the form of paid advertisements. Okay, I'm gonna read further, so maybe it starts making a bit more sense to me as I read. Hopefully it makes a little bit more sense to me, because what I just read, I'm like, what are we saying here? But okay, y'all stay with me. We're going to figure this out together. So the nature of the actions. All right. The case arises from the defendant's false, defamatory, slanderous, and malicious assertions that plaintiffs are, quote, thieves and, quote, scammers, and that they, quote, stole millions. Defendant has publicly and maliciously spread these false claims on his website and through his sizable social media presence, including accounts on Instagram. They got Twitter, YouTube, all of them is Tony the Closer, as part of a tortuous strategy to drive views and engagement with his own brand. Defendant Robinson frequently makes posts insulting, attacking, or arguing with other public figures. I want to say, wasn't that line, if I recall, a line that was in DJ Envy's defamation lawsuit, where he said that he argues with other public figures in order to drive traffic to his site? Defendant Robinson uses his social media presence to promote his own uses, his websites and social media platforms to self-promotional real estate coaching materials under various names and through several different companies, including his Rona-proof masterclass course materials, weight loss drinks, clothing, and other items on his social media platforms, as well as his associates platform, Defendant Nicole Linnell LLC. I'm still trying to figure out what Nicole got to do with any of this. What? Okay. Defendant also promotes his real estate investing business and his real estate coaching business through his social media accounts. That should be a period. Beginning on or about May 25th, 2023, defendant began posting about what he deemed a, quote, scam run by Pina's and Rashana Casey. I guess that's supposed to be Rashawn. Initially asserting in an Instagram live post, which is a live video broadcast to all of defendant's Instagram followers, that the Pinas had been accused of scamming investors and that the Pinas were only famous because they had been promoted on Mr. Casey's radio show. There are lawsuits out there where people are alleging that. And a lot of us didn't know who the Pinas were until DJ Envy brought them out and started doing these real estate classes. But I'm going to proceed. During his first May 25th, 2023 live post regarding Mr. Casey, defendant was careful to state that there were allegations and claims by investors who claimed to be defrauded by the Pinas and not factual statements. That was in DJ Envy's lawsuit as well. Throughout June 2023, defendant continued to refine his new business model and increased social media success as an enemy of, quote, scammers, posting attacks against alleged, quote, scammers, and then quickly advertising his real estate courses. On July 19, 2023, and then again on September 21st, 2023, defendant posted an Instagram, Tony the Closer top 10 list of scammers 2023 drops today. Hashtag real estate Rico, hashtag no refunds, no peace, how to catch a scammer appearing below. So it looks like he has a list of a bunch of people that he's saying the top 10 scammer list. This image falsely accuses plaintiff of being scammers and is defamatory as it claims that plaintiffs are not legitimate and that they steal money from investors. On June 29, 2023, defendant posted an updated list of Tony the Closer top 10 scammer lists on Twitter and Instagram, generating thousands of likes, more than 1,300 comments, and hundreds and thousands of views across both platforms. These false statements regarding plaintiffs continue to generate substantial publicity for defendant and his companies through the sale of his real estate guru investment courses and other services to first-time buyers who want to earn $20,000 per month. On August 11, 2023, defendant stated, I'm going to say so, God dang it. Heavy, what? Heavy you say right beside flipping and Cesar running the whole full-blown Ponzi. I'm reading it just how it is, y'all. I'm reading it exactly how it is. It's in quotes. It says, I'm going to say so, God. I don't use the Lord's name today. So it say, G did. Heavy you say right beside flipping and Cesar running the whole full-blown Ponzi scheme. You got Lygus, Lygus, Lygus. I don't even know what that is. Coming to my career talking about you're running a criminal organization. There's drugs involved and everything, and I need to shut up. Did you just go get you got the blogs involved after you had come to my career with drugs and all kinds of ish? You know how they shouldn't make you to tell me to shut up. You can't be a smart liquid because now he just gave all the eyeballs on me. I can't. Hey, over. So I'm happy to be here because this is one of the full drug organizations. Was this like red or you know how you do like text to type or something? What is happening here? What? This is supposed to be a quote or what? Like maybe they were talking into the dictaphone or something and it was transcribing. One Piece said, I have a headache. Denise said, y'all see it for yourself. I'm really reading it right off the paper. Sarah Wilson said, what a smart liquid. That's what it said, a smart liquid. Alice said, atrocious. Yes, Shelby, this is a legal document. This is a complaint. And it's been filed because I pulled it off of the website. Okay, guys. Paragraph 19. On August 11, 2023, defendant stated, here's another quote. So you guys embrace yourselves. Because he's used his platform to talk about pushing education to the people and people who are out here right now suffering because his business partner stole millions of dollars, and we're not talking about 1 or 2 million. There's only 50 victims are ready to have come forward and over 25 million. End quote. During a live video conference hosted on August 15, 2023, defendant stated the following. A, quote, From the words that I've already had speaking to attorneys as well, over 25 million already that happened that he has spoken to and in victims. And this could be potentially a 50 to 100 million Ponzi scheme since once it's all said and done, end quote. Sub B, quote, and here's the thing I want to talk about. iHeartRadio is very, very much liable for it. I'm using it for allowing DJ Envy to use and promote a known felon who was a drug trafficker, a scammer from the 90s. He allowed that same dude to come out there and do the same exact crime to millions of people. He promoted a flat out fraud, a scammer, and a drug dealer on the platform. And guess what they did? They scammed as they drove, they sold drugs. They've involved with drug dealers. They were involved in a very nasty, I'm telling you, I don't give a F. These mother effers were involved in drugs. They were involved in money laundering. If you look at some of the actual videos, even looking at Lucci's page, they're saying they're collecting rent. You're going to look at the money and the way that the money is wrapped in rubber bands, that ish doesn't nobody turn in rent money this way. Nobody turns in rent money and effing 20 strapping around in the effing and rubber bands and stacks like that. Only people that put their money like that is dope boys and to sit back and watch and see, end quote. See, if you see these messages where he was literally coercing people to give them 200, 300, 400,000 in order to run his effing Ponzi scheme, yet none of that money was used in real estate transactions, end quote. Whew, y'all bear with me. I didn't know I needed to get a glass of wine before I started reading this. Why didn't you guys warn me? Who said you guys read this lawsuit with Tony last night? I wasn't ready. I just threw the watermark on there and a couple of, I know where the parts where they have the addresses, and I just kind of redact them and I keep it moving. Oh, you guys should have told me that I needed to drink something before I can understand what I was reading. What in the world is happening here? On September 11, 2023, defendant falsely asserts that plaintiffs were involved in a slip and fall lawsuit appearing below and claims that plaintiffs were awarded $425,000, further alleging that the lawsuit was an insurance finesse. Okay. And then he has the Instagram post that says Cesar and Jen had a slip and fall in the market and won $425K in April and still ain't paid investors back after the insurance finesse. The post falsely asserts that plaintiffs are liars and pushes defendants' defamatory statement that plaintiffs are scammers, criminals, and dishonest. On September 24th, 2023, defendant continues to assert that plaintiff Cesar Pina has finessed investors appearing below. Oh my goodness. This mug says Dominican greed. I'm not doing this. I don't think I was ready for this lawsuit. I wasn't ready. Between the pictures and the pig Latin language, I just was not ready for it. Okay, number 26. This image improperly advances the narrative that plaintiff Cesar Pina is a greedy scammer who takes advantage of innocent individuals. As recently as August 2nd, 2023, defendant falsely asserted on Twitter that Rashawn Casey and Cesar Pina real estate Ponzi scheme leaves investors in financial ruins after $350K investment. On August 18th, 2023, defendant posted on Instagram, DJ Envy, can you explain if Cesar ever wrote you a $527,000 bad check, or does he only do that to investors? Appearing below. Okay. On September 30th, 2023, defendant posted, quote, bruh, we got Cesar bank records from Flip to Dial, and boy has -$6 left. Some of the transactions were Popeye Chicken, DoorDash, Gucci, and more. Now, what I will say is, I don't know what Tony the Closer put up, but I recall in one of the lawsuits we had, and again, they're just allegations, but in one of the lawsuits we went over, they did attach some bank statements from Flip to Dial, and we did see some food charges and all of that, and it was supposed to be from the Flip to Dial account. Now, I don't know if it had -6 in there. I don't remember that, but I do remember them putting, because they were alleging in that lawsuit that it was that account was being used for personal gain. So I believe it was the Flip to Dial account, if I recall correctly. So they're gonna make me cross check now. This post is an invasion of privacy and improperly asserts that plaintiff Cesar Pina is scamming investors and using their money for personal use. Literally, it is on one of, let me find that lawsuit. This is interesting. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll just, you guys make sure you hit that like button on your way and subscribe. We're growing over here. Let me see. Pinga. Hold on. So, what's the name of this lawsuit? I'm gonna have to find it, because some of this stuff is sounding real, real familiar. Request for default. Um, was it the okay? The Flip to Dial. Yeah, here was the bank statement. Okay, yeah, I know I wasn't crazy. Okay, let me do this down. Okay, let me do this. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna put this bank statement up because I knew I saw it. I'm like, some of this stuff is sounding real familiar. So this was attached to one of these cases. I think it was the Barone. Defendant did so by using the Flip to Dial account as their personal piggy bank to pay for thousands of dollars worth of luxury items, food, airlines, and entertainment tickets. And they had it attached to the one of the complaints, or one of the responses to the complaint. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I don't want to lie on the man. I want to be fair, Cesar. I really, really do. Okay. But he said the post was an invasion of privacy and improperly asserted that plaintiff is scamming investors and using their money for personal use. All right. Defendant hosted a live meeting on or around October 4th, 2023, with the title Cesar Pina and DJ Envy Real Estate Fraud Scheme Victims, appearing below. Okay, so apparently there was a Clubhouse type deal. On October 9th, 2023, defendant posted on Instagram, quote, husband and wife power couple scams over 80 million and count. Lives ruin all over while they block and avoid investors, end quote, appearing below. Well, he actually did. So now this proves that some of these quotings, the quotations are not being accurate, because I was like, maybe they're just trying to do it verbatim. But this has, quote, husband and wife power couple scams over 80 million and count. But when you actually look at the post, it does say it properly. Husband and wife power couple scams over 80 million and counting. Lives ruined all over while they block and avoid investors. This one has, it just says lives ruined all over while they block and avoid investors, and then it has appearing below. Okay. And then they said, here's the picture that they posted. On October 14, 2023, defendant posted Cesar owes over $900,000 to a man who passed away. When the family went to claim his money, what y'all think? Cesar said, and then reposted the statement on Instagram on the same day, stating, "quote No one should be okay with with this violating good people for personal benefit is disgusting," end quote, and it's appearing below. Okay, and that's another. It says, "What do you think? What do you think Caesar did?" Up here is what they quoted, but then down here on his actual post, it has Caesar owes over 900,000 to a man who passed away. When the family went to claim his money, what y'all think? It's correct on the post. Caesar said, "Real estate Rico." Hashtag real estate Rico. So that's another post that they talk about. This post improperly depicts plaintiff Cesar Pina as a cold-hearted individual who steals money from his investors. On an indeterminable date, defendant posted on his Instagram story reel picture of cash and the caption, quote, "DJ Ponzi and flipping pancakes. I just want y'all to know that these people want their damn money back. Money laundering DJ Envy," end quote. And they got it appearing below. Then it has this image improperly asserts that plaintiffs have been laundering money with the help of DJ Envy. Defendant accuses plaintiff Cesar Pina of using his daughter, Taylor, to hide assets from investors and cause Caesar's America's and got the nerve to put sick. Dumbest criminal, because sick is when it's been a misspelling and it is. So for those that don't know. Caesar and big business now transfer real estate into Taylor Pina named Caesar's daughter. Okay. And then he has that post. This post improperly asserts that plaintiffs are using their daughter to hide assets from investors, calling them criminals. Defendant posted a comment stating that, quote, "hundreds of people who trusted Caesar with millions of dollars, I began to uncover a web of lies, deceit, and fraud. People who wanted to build generational wealth through real estate and got scammed just like I did years ago by Jay Morrison. This scandal was well over $40 million and and lives have been ruined by this scam," appearing below. This post improperly pushes the narrative that plaintiff Cesar Pina is a scammer who takes advantage of the Black and Hispanic community. Defendant asserts that Cesar has also scammed Snoop Dogg, appearing below. So his comment on Snoop Dogg is, "Did Cesar pull a fast one on Uncle Snoop? It has been alleged the Cesar may have also scammed Uncle Snoop. A tip has come to me that shared that they were told the purpose was for Snoop Dogg. SD Investments was formed in February 2021. It has never been touched. No renovations or anything in years. It was recently sold a few days ago." Okay. Paragraph 51. Y'all still with me? Y'all all right over there? You guys all right over there on YouTube? Defendant continues to advance the false narrative that plaintiff Cesar Pina is a scammer by asserting that plaintiff Cesar has also scammed Snoop Dogg. It is clear that defendant will continue to make knowingly false, malicious, and defamatory statements about plaintiffs across his social media channels because those statements generate publicity, increase his social media following, and further his financial interests by allowing him to increase engagements with new customers and make money selling real estate courses to new viewers. And they have courses in quotes. In May 2023, plaintiff Mr. Pena was rejected on a business loan for $500,000 because of what they saw on social media. On June 2023, plaintiff Mr. Pena's $2.5 million refinance was rejected because the lender saw Tony the Closer's social media posts. In June 2023, plaintiff Mr. Pena's $1 million refinance, Chicago, was denied because they saw social media. In July 2023, plaintiff Mr. Pena's 6 properties that were going to be sold were canceled because of what they saw on social media. In August 2023, plaintiff Mr. Pena in August 2023, plaintiff Mr. Pena's ride-along event in St. Louis had to be canceled because of death threats. An estimated 2,000 tickets are sold per event. So to do ride-alongs, remember we saw the video when they were doing the ride-along or the walk-along or whatever it was. I wonder if that's the same thing. So they sell tickets to that event, I guess, for people to ride along and see the properties. It's 2,000 tickets that are sold. Plaintiff Mr. Pena's real estate platform, Flip the Dial, has been destroyed. First year earning was $900,000, projected $5 million over the next 5 years. Plaintiff Mr. Pena's TV show with A&E has been placed on hold. Endorsement deals alone are estimated $500,000. Hubzu, the second biggest auction house in the U.S., canceled their partnership with plaintiff Mr. Pena and DJ Envy, estimated income $1 million. Oh. So apparently together, DJ Envy and Mr. Pena had a partnership at an auction house that grossed about $1 million. Well, estimated income of $1 million. All of plaintiff Mr. Pena's real estate partnerships with lenders, realtors, private lenders, insurance companies have been canceled. Estimated income $300,000. Plaintiff Mr. Pena's one-on-one income estimated worth of $360,000 a year has been canceled due to death threats, fear of safety, and overall bookings have decreased. Plaintiff Mr. Pena is unable to lend because of the posts and information after Googled. Plaintiff Mr. Pena is unable to lend because of the posts and information after Googled. Plaintiff Mr. Pena faces plaintiff Mrs. Pena. So now we're getting to the wife and where she comes in this complaint. Plaintiff Mrs. Pena faces possible suspension or loss of her real estate license. Plaintiff Mrs. Pena is unable to list or show homes due to death threats via text messages. Plaintiff Mrs. Pena is unable to engage in speaking engagements. Plaintiff, it has Mr. S, so maybe that's supposed to be Mrs. Plaintiff Mrs. Pena is unable to conduct agent referrals and co-listings. Yeah, that's probably supposed to be Mrs. Plaintiff Mrs. Pena's braids shop business has been negatively affected by defendant's actions. So they talk about jurisdiction and venue, all the parties, where the companies are, and why New Jersey is the proper forum to have this lawsuit. So that's all that is. So let's get to the actual counts. We're almost finished. Whew. Coco. You said, please make it stop. What am I listening to? I'm just see, this is why I put the document up there, because had I just went on there and just read it, you guys would have been talking about me on the internet. Like, dang, this is a lawyer and she's reading like that. That's what you guys would have said. That's why I put the document, because I need you guys, if you gotta blow it up, take your phone, stretch it up for you to see it yourself. It is right there on the screen. I am not making none of this stuff up. Y'all not gonna talk about me. I get talked about enough, and I'm just bringing the documents. Count one is defamation and slander. Okay. As to who? Okay, is this generally defamation and slander? Defendant Tony Robinson falsely asserts that plaintiffs scammed investors through an investment scheme. Defendant Tony Robinson falsely asserts that plaintiff Cesar owes over $900,000 to a man who passed away. Defendant Tony Robinson falsely asserts that plaintiff Cesar writes bad checks to investors. There is no basis in fact for defendant's endless stream of malicious false statements outlined above. So those are the slanderous statements. There was never any basis in fact for any of these accusations or inferences. The statements made by defendant Robinson concerning plaintiffs were malicious, reckless, and or negligently made and had the purpose and effect of damaging and injuring each individual plaintiff's good name and reputation in the eyes of the public and plaintiff's business interests and partners. The statements made by defendant Robinson were broadcast to thousands of third parties by defendant using his social media platform, including without limitation, his YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. The statements made by defendant Robinson concerning plaintiffs were defamatory and slanderous per se. Prior to these communications by defendant Robinson, plaintiffs had maintained and enjoyed a distinguished and unblemished reputation. Didn't this man go on the Breakfast Club and talk about he was bad in the past and he done did time and he learned how to do real estate in jail? You got, let me know if I'm let me know if I'm wrong, but I thought that's what I heard, that he was saying that he changed his life around. He had a past of which he was something had to do with some credit cards or something. And thank you for becoming a member, Navy SEAL. I appreciate you. Okay, I mean, he talked about his past in some other interviews as well. I'm just trying to make sure, because I try to be fair. I ain't trying to lie on nobody. It's just this is baffling me right now. Okay. Prior to these communications by defendant Robinson, plaintiffs had maintained and enjoyed a distinguished and unblemished reputation for honesty and integrity with the public and with their business interests and partners. Plaintiff's reputation has been irreparably harmed by the defamatory statements made by defendant and by the wrongful and illegal actions falsely attributed to plaintiffs by defendant Robinson. Plaintiffs have suffered damages and are entitled to recover compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million and punitive damages in an amount to be determined by the court from defendant Robinson as a result of the malicious and reckless false statements and accusations defendants made against them. Based on the foregoing, plaintiffs are substantially likely to prevail on the merits in this action. Plaintiff will be substantial. Oh, they're trying to get an injunction too. Good luck. It's called good luck with that. Plaintiffs will be substantially and irreparably harmed without injunctive relief to address the defamation by defendant. The equity strongly favor plaintiffs, and any harm to defendant will be greater if the restraints were denied than defendant would suffer if the restraints were granted. Claims for torturous interference with prospective business relations. Plaintiff Cesar Pina and Jennifer Pina had existing ventures with numerous businesses including real estate partnerships, a TV show, a ride-along event, and other real estate related business transactions based upon plaintiff's reputation for honesty and integrity with the public and with the business partners. Defendants' false and defamatory statements concerning plaintiffs have damaged their reputation for honesty and integrity with the public and with his business partners. This has harmed plaintiffs' economic and or contractual relationships with their existing business partners by reducing the value of their endorsements as a direct and proximate result of defendants' malicious and or reckless harm to plaintiffs' reputation and public image. Plaintiffs are entitled to recover compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million and punitive damages in the amount to be determined by the court from defendant as a result of defendants interferes with their business relationships. Claim for tortious interference with business relationships. Plaintiffs Cesar Pina and Jennifer Pina had existing ventures with numerous businesses, including real estate partnerships, a TV show, a ride-along event, and other real estate-related business transaction based upon plaintiff's reputation of honesty and integrity with the public and with their business partners. Defendant Robinson's false and defamatory statement concerning plaintiffs have damaged their reputation for honesty and integrity with the public and with his business partners. This has harmed plaintiffs' economic and or contractual relationships with their existing business partners by reducing the value of their endorsements as a direct and proximate result of defendants' malicious and or reckless harm to plaintiffs' reputation and public image. Plaintiffs are entitled to recover compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million and punitive damages from defendant as a result of defendants' interference with their business relationships. Count 4 is invasion of privacy. Plaintiffs incorporate by reference all foregoing paragraphs in this complaint as fully set forth herein. Defendants' publications on social media constitutes an invasion of plaintiffs' privacy by broadcasting to third parties over social media. Defendantly tortuously invaded plaintiffs' privacy through invasion. Plaintiffs are entitled to recover compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million and punitive damages and an amount to be determined by the court from defendant as a result of defendant's interference with business relationship. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, plaintiff Cesar Pina, and they forgot to put the wife's name, I guess. Y'all see that? It said plaintiff Cesar Pina and comma respectfully request that the court enter judgment in their favor and against defendants, and to include in its judgment the following damages: an award of compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million against defendant Robinson and the remaining defendants for having defamed plaintiffs. An award of punitive damages against defendant Robinson and the remaining defendants for malicious, reckless, and unjustified defamatory statement about plaintiffs. An award of temporary, preliminary, and or permanent injunctive relief as against Mr. Robinson and in favor of plaintiffs. An award of compensatory damages against defendants and defendant Mr. Robinson for having tortuously interfered with plaintiff's prospective business. An award of punitive damages against defendants and defendant Mr. Robinson for having tortuously interfered with plaintiff's prospective business. An award of compensatory damages against defendants, excuse me, and defendant Mr. Robinson for having tortuously interfered with plaintiff's business. An award of punitive damages against defendants and defendant Mr. Robinson for having tortuously interfered with plaintiff's business, and such other legal and equitable relief as may just be just and proper under the circumstances. So there you guys have it. So, in my opinion, there is a lot wrong with this complaint. And it's just popping at me. So I'm not going to say, I don't have a dog in the fight. Ain't nobody paying your girl. But it's a lot going on here. And one of the biggest problems, I'm gonna throw this out here though, because I'm not just even gonna just talk about the complaint and how it's not doing what defamation complaints are supposed to do. But aside from that, let me look this up. Oh, bring it down here. We've talked about the anti-slap statute. We've talked about that over here on a few cases. And New Jersey at one point was one of the states that did not have anti-slap. Well, just recently, New Jersey has adopted an anti-slap statute. And let me tell you what. So Governor Murphy signs a bill protecting against lawsuits designed to suppress free speech. So let's read this. This is from Trenton, September 7th of 2023. I don't think it went into law until October 7th of 2023. But Governor Phil Murphy signed a Uniform Public Expression Protection Act to protect people from meritless lawsuits intended to intimidate them for exercising their free speech rights. Powerful entities and individuals often use lawsuits and litigation threats to punish and silence those who might speak unfavorably about them. The bipartisan legislation will enable defendants to seek the expedited dismissal of such lawsuits, commonly referred to as strategic lawsuits against public participation, SLAP, which have historically been used against journalists, academics, advocates, and whistleblowers, among others. A SLAP is generally used to silence individuals or organizations from publicly criticizing or bringing legitimate issues to light about an individual or entity with greater power and resources. Quote, this was the governor said, for far too long, the powerful have abused the justice system to suppress free speech through illegitimate lawsuits, said Governor Murphy. By pursuing meritless court cases, these powerful parties aim to silence their critics by making it impossible for those with fewer resources to spend the time and money necessary to legally defend themselves. This law will expedite the process to get these cases dismissed on behalf of the journalists, small business activists, and countless others who have been unfairly targeted by these lawsuits over the years. If a SLAP is initiated, the bill now allows eligible defendants to file paperwork requiring the plaintiff to demonstrate the basis for the lawsuit and requiring the court to consider the issues in an expeditious manner. This process will enable these kinds of cases to be dismissed quickly, and it's at less expense to the defendant rather than being drawn out in court. In addition to the expedited timeline, other related legal proceedings may be paused until the request for an expedited dismissal is resolved. The bill also allowed defendants in some cases to recover legal fees if the lawsuit is dismissed. People should be able to speak their mind on the issues that matter most to them without the fear of becoming ensnared in an expensive, time-consuming lawsuit, end quote, said First Assistant Attorney General. The law signed by Governor Murphy today makes it much more difficult to use the legal system as a weapon with the intent to bully individuals into silence. New Jersey is proud to become the latest state to enact a law that discourages and creates a streamlined process to dismiss baseless lawsuits that improperly target the lawful exercise of free speech. With this bill signing, New Jersey joins a host of other states in adopting an anti-SLAP law and becomes the sixth state to specifically enact particularly strong protections based on the Uniform Law Commission's Uniform Public Expression Protection Act. And then it gives the sponsors of the bill. That's just all I'm gonna give. That's all I'm gonna give for free. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give for free, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know that a lawsuit has been filed by Cesar Pina, and it's against a bunch of people, even though specifically what they're. Damn, stop talking. Okay, let me see what you guys have to say. You said what was? Jersey is in the house. This was passed. That's why I followed it. Yes, I believe it went into law October 7th. Yeah. Let's see. You said I have seen complaints terribly written like this before. I know. I should have drunk wine beforehand because I didn't know what I was getting into. Thank you, Coco. Thank you so much. Said you applaud my patience. Thank you. I appreciated it. He's trying to LP said he's trying to find a scapegoat for a reason he cannot pay and trying to save face with envy. Well, he kind of gave a little bit more information about envy because we didn't know anything about no partnerships that he was making $1 million or estimated to make $1 million. Them ride-alongs, we saw a couple videos. I didn't know they were charging people for the ride-along. So he kind of gave more information because he's trying to say that he was harmed. Now it's going to be interesting to see. Again, I just pulled that one part with the bank statements. It's just going to be very interesting to see if you really have people, because truth is a defense to defamation. We all know that. Truth is a defense. And I'm not saying whether it's true or false. I'm just saying truth is a defense, or if it's substantially true. So that means you had and you have to show malice because these are public figures. And plus, an anti-slap, I got to see how theirs read or whatever. But if you have a malice prong, malice is not what people think it is. Malice is basically that you had a reasonable belief that it may not have been true and you said it anyway. Well, it sounds like to me that Tony the closer actually used what these alleged victims were saying, and they filed lawsuits that kind of back up what they're saying. So it's just going to be very interesting how this is going to go, if he's going to serve the lawsuit, what the responses are going to be. But if the anti-slap, again, they probably, it's newer, so they probably don't have much going on with it, and not too many people have used it, I surmise, because it just was enacted like a month ago. That can cause you more legal woes if you lose. You have to pay attorney fees. I don't know if they make theirs mandatory. It doesn't sound like it, but you may have to pay costs and attorney fees if you can't prove it. And again, I seen his girlfriend's business, but I'm like, well, what? Y'all let me know if you've seen anything aside from what he's alleging Tony the closer said, what the girlfriend's business or anything have to do with that. I'm just confused unless I missed something. Thank you, Dr. Carissa, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Intellects. So y'all let me know. Denise said it's not the teacher's fault they weren't paying attention. Maybe it was just some, maybe they were. Sometimes you can dictate on some of the software, and maybe that's what was happening. Because some of that stuff I read at first, I was like, well, was he trying to recite exactly what was being said from like an audio, and that's how it transcribed? So, and maybe it transcribed all gibberish, but some of those words weren't even words that were on there. So, I don't know. I need you guys to help me out. So, again, that's the lawsuit. Again, DJ Envy has also filed a lawsuit against Tony the Closer, and he's alleging defamation as well. Again, DJ Envy has not been charged, criminally arrested, or anything that has to do with any of this stuff with Cesar. From what I understand, he is still on the Breakfast Club doing his thing and all of that. But right now, Cesar is currently fighting this case. This one count, I believe it's one count of wire fraud. Alice, you always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Again, these are our allegations. Anybody can make allegations in a pleading. Linda said, good job tonight with what I was working with. Thank you, Linda. Oh, goodness. Shelby said proofreading is a thing. And Miss V said, what happened to spell check? I don't even know if spell check would have really been helping some of that. Sometimes spell check get confused. You know, when they say we don't know this word or whatever they say, they like never heard of it. We don't have anything close to what you put in here. Oh gosh. You said Tony said allegedly after. Well, those, you know what? Though, yeah, I noticed that he said allegedly, definitely after the Snoop situation. Anything that he quoted that was not he and his wife quoted in the complaint, because this is a representation of them in this complaint. Um, that we didn't actually see the screenshots. I don't know exactly what was said because, as you guys seen, it seemed like a bunch of gibberish the way it was presented in the complaint. But yeah, it's I mean it's all alleged. It's what these are alleged victims. Like they're going to court. And honestly, it sounds like based on the video. Remember, we watched the video when Cesar went on Instagram and he tried to explain himself. And he all but admitted, said, if I owe money, then I owe money. I'll do what I have to. That's stupid. Why do you guys want me to go to jail? Because how I'm gonna pay your money back. So it sounds like he had kind of admitted on that video that he might owe people a couple of dollars. But hey, who am I? Yes, please hit these like buttons. Please, 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 because we about to be up out of here. I just wanted to bring you guys this lawsuit. There's so much going on these streets. So I don't know. I may be back with something else. Who knows? Just make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified whenever I do decide to go on. I am trying to go on as the news happens. I am trying to go on to cover it. Again, I just read this whole thing with you guys. So a lot of the stuff I didn't know I was going to be reading the way that it has come out to be read. You're welcome, Shelby. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. It's been an hour. I hope to see you guys around the YouTube streets. If I don't come on myself, I may come on later if I have a reason to come back on. But until then, I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night if I don't talk to you tonight.